the state of what we're dealing with right now is people distracted and not being able to read a book or even watch a movie. Definitely not able to watch a YouTube self-improvement video where we get better. Let's learn as if we're beginners on how to watch a YouTube video. Do we know if an orgasm happened? Sometimes, yeah, and sometimes it's mythical. Ditto, do we know about whether or not somebody got value out of a video? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. This is the, not cheat code, but the, winning way to go through a YouTube video with how to watch a YouTube video. Step number 1, setting a goal. When you don't set a goal, you're just going to peruse and casually watch. Setting a goal, sure. But what about setting an obnoxious goal, which is, can this video pay for my college debt? Can this video prepare me to enter business school? Will this video from this Chinese cowboy dude able to pay for my summer vacation, because today is March 3rd? Will this video help me self-fund spring break for college, or a spring break trip if you're a working professional? Because what they refer to as Geek Spring Break is a film festival. When you set an obnoxious goal for a video, such as this video, oh my God, this video is going to be amazing. This is why. What if we set obnoxiously as a goal to, I'm not going to say pay off education, because you probably don't have any school debt, so that's why you're able to be this goal of, remember, this is how to watch a YouTube video. Let's say you set a goal for every video I watch, I'm going to make $500. What? What if you got $1 for every video that you've already watched? How rich would you be? Super rich. And we're not addressing broke back ROI or broken focused watching. Because remember, a lot of people who watch the movie Brokeback Mountain don't see that it's not a commentary on two dudes' friendship. I've never watched it. You brought it up. But that's the goal of this video, is I'm taking distracted ADD comments in this session and turning it into the topic of this video, which is how to watch a YouTube video, setting a goal, even though there are distracting comments in the chat. What if we were to get paid not $1 per video that we've already watched? That's too cliche, too general, and too in the past. Let's try to make $500 on this video. Investment required, 16 minutes, which is this. The structure of the notes is point number 2. Point number 1, set a goal. Point number 1B is don't get distracted, which is kind of focus. Point number 2 is how do you structure notes? What's going to happen is you're going to be able to do Web 4. It's a teaser for what Web 4 is, but basically in three confusing things all summarized together. It is this. When you structure notes to seem like they are my notes for this talk, you are now able to jettison, to springboard, to leap ahead, because you'll have compressed time itself. What is physics? It's a compression algorithm explained. And when you decompress it, there's an activation energy of money exploding. Was that a little too high school chemistry for all of us? No. What we're doing is we are structuring notes so that way we can compress and decompress. An example of compression is this. What did you learn about in that Larry Chang video? Because it seemed like it had a really basic title, which is how to watch a YouTube video. 怎么会看 YouTube 呢? Which is, how do you watch a YouTube video? This is specifically the compression and decompression, which is, what did you gain from that video that seemed like was really basic? Oh, this is what I gained. I gained thinking to set a goal to get $500, and we actually got there. And two, not just focusing, but having an expansion on a prior where we take our notes and we publish them to Instagram or X or some format of publishing. We can even publish it into our journal, because who reads our journal? We do. And we're the most important author and reader of the book of life called your journal. Do you see how that's a compression? You could do it as fast as this way, which is, oh, you want a summary of the Larry Chang video that I spent 16 minutes studying? Well, basically, he's doing some Jedi business shit, right? And to the person who's like, say something in Chinese, how do you not react? Why? Because you do what you do on every video, which is what some people do, which is wrong, which is, and that's okay, yes, judgments, which is this. You go from video to video trying to get the live streamer to acknowledge you or adjust or troll them. That's what most people do, and that's okay. This is how to watch a YouTube video, point number 3, which is taking the notes that we took and now we're outlining them into chapters by asking a question: what if this video were to be turned into a book? Now you're cheating by learning a lot because you're listening in a deeper way. Because not only do you have to write a 12-page, 12-sentence book report, you're now having to write not just 12 pages, but 12 chapters, or maybe 14 chapters. But 12 to 14 chapters is a lot just on one video. What happens to your listening when you have to come up with an entire book on winning? Which is us connecting in a future version of that video. When I say future version of that video, I'm saying the video that we learned from, how to watch a YouTube video, extrapolated into the content provider to the content consumer, so that you can surpass me. Because remember, we're talking about springboarding, jumping ahead, and self-improving. Specifically how? And again, this is perfect. This is perfect because this being the pin message. thinking that audience size matters while you're sitting in the audience is confusing your brain. There's a video that I did called The 11 Chefs in the Kitchen of Your Mind, because your mind has 11 chefs where you're trying to manage 11 people. I'm not even going to talk about your daddy issues because that's okay. I'm not going to talk about your chemical dependency issues because there's only judgments here, which is the next point for how to watch a YouTube video, which is this. We want to PQRST, preview, question, read, summarize, test. Most people, when they flutter like a butterfly, not very intelligent by the way, from video to video, they're fluttering and they're waving their wings super hard and they're unknowingly pollinating flowers because they're pooping on flowers. Do you like butterflies? That's cool. Do you like the fact that I made a sign for this video? Yeah. Because now what we can realize is that we're doing the 4th grade reading exercise, which is PQRST. And PQRST is preview, question, read, summarize, test, a book. Is this also how to read a book? Yeah. It's also how to get clients. We are focused on how to read a book. So, when we're memorizing an outline, which is point number 5. With point number 5, with memorizing an outline, why do we want to memorize their outline? Because the way that other people watch a video is half distracted, half, hey, distraction, pay attention, hey, make this alteration, do everything but the purpose of the video. Because what we have is completely temporary. What this video is a archive of learning and learning how to learn. And when we don't get better day to day, today's day 3 of the 23 days of OpenAI, or video to video, then we'll meet back here on this same video 6 days from now, 6 months from now, 6 lifetimes from now, which is why when we memorize an outline, now what we're doing is we're learning about the content of other people better than how other people know their own content. And so we're able to win at entrepreneurship. We're able to win at YouTube time. We're able to win at how to watch and learn. And when you win at that, now you're going to say, wow, that one video that I watched 3 times was more valuable than every other video on YouTube. How many viewers were there? There was one very important viewer, me. I was an incredibly important viewer of this video. Do you think that I'm going to study buddy? Oh my God, this script is perfect. Study buddying the video with somebody else. I'm not going to say, hey, find somebody else to watch this video with you. I'm not going to say that. What I'm going to say is, you and I should study buddy this video. Is this like book club where we study a book and then discuss it a little bit? Is this from Sunrise Video Series? Yes. Are the 12 Days of Christmas with 2 things that became extrapolated because somebody memorized the chapters? Maybe. Which is the 23 days of OpenAI came from the 12 days of OpenAI, came from the 12 days of Christmas. The 12 days of Christmas, morphed into the 99 Days of Christmas for the 99 days in a row for Sunrise video series. What you're doing is you're springboarding from this one video, which is how to watch a YouTube video by not creating something on your own, but by compressing and decompressing learning, by reverse engineering how this can be a benefit. Because remember, point number one was, can you make $500 on this video? So let's focus on point number one as we go to point number 6, which is, does this video connect to other videos? Quiz question, test question, pop quiz time, which is, do you remember when there was a video that I mentioned, which is 11 chefs in the kitchen of your mind? That is a $500 solution, because what are you doing? You're solving problems that other people have by memorizing videos. Memorization of outlines, memorization of titles is point number 5. We're on point number 6 and point number 1, which is, how can we make $500 from this video connecting to other videos? The answer to that, we hunt. So we hunt for problems that other people have. And that's the fastest way to make money, because I sniffed out being able to continue with $500 in ROI. How? By hunting constantly for problems. The sign that I just showed you is showing the specific problem that AI is a genius thing, but people don't use it to solve their problem. You go into debt to go to South by Southwest. Solution, 23 days of OpenAI, where you should get your return on investment before day number 8 of the 23 days of OpenAI. Day number 8 is day number 2 of South by Southwest. And you see how that's also structure memorization for point number 5. When you see structure, you're able to race ahead and front run people who have these problems. Predicting problems is a review of point number 4, PQRST. Anticipating who's going to have a problem, guesstimating how that problem might emerge, and then confirming verbally by motivationally listening, hey, is this a problem that you have? Do you go from YouTube video to YouTube video and stay at the same negative amount of money that you might have? Or why is it that the people who watch and rewatch this video after it archives are the rich people, where thank you for bringing up that I need to have beginner's mind? That's connecting to others' video, connecting to others' book, connecting to others' life path. Because point number 7 is a live action bibliography. How do you watch a YouTube video? Well, the way I watch a YouTube video is I'm constantly adding to the non-existent bibliography. How is it that I can read 12 books before noon? Is it because I wake up at 1 a.m. and start reading? It's the same way that Bruce Lee practices his one kick 1,000 times. Because you thought I read 12 brand new books, where I'm just reading whatever book I read, the same book 12 times. Because remember, in PQRST, we are reading the same book 4 times while other people read it 0.7 times. Who's going to get better at entrepreneurship? Who's going to get better at how to watch a YouTube video? Who's going to get better at baseball? The person who does repetitions. Remember, page 57 of Atomic Habits is we want to learn by practicing, not by planning. Page 57, Atomic Habits, James Clear. That's how to read a book, by citing and memorizing page numbers and chapters. How to watch a YouTube video is coming up with a bibliography that's live action. Another example of a bibliography, this time inside of a book, is Steve Blank, 4 Steps to the Epiphany. Page 207 is his bibliography. Did I augment and add to the bibliography? Yes. Remember, this video is called How to Watch a YouTube Video. Am I kicking out fortune cookie sized tidbit messages for you to recut, re-edit, and win at? Oh yeah. That's what this staccato bursts of information for. Does this video have a bibliography? This video does, but if you notate what is in this video to do a video bibliography of the video, comma, quote, how to watch a YouTube video, you will make way more than the $1 per video that if you would have been paid $1 per video that you've watched, you'd be rich right now. That's why we can study buddy this video. In fact, if you want to readjust your financial goal right now, which is before I just wanted to get some really low financial goal, I want to now take this video, comma, quote, how to watch a YouTube video, end quote, into paying for my spring break trip that I'm going to take to Austin, Texas. Congrats, because I can do it in 1 sentence, 1 paragraph, 1 hashtag, which is this bibliography to a blog post called hashtag 23 days of OpenAI. You're welcome. I just paid for your trip. How do you make the money? Whatever city you're in, say the city that you're in. I won't hear it because this is a video, but this is a conversation. You said Miami, we'll stay with Miami. You can go from Miami to Austin. That's going to cost $800 on American or Delta, if you like female pilots that have never flown before. Commercial jets. Training modules, yes. That $800, how are you going to get that money? You host a party in Miami for people that are thinking or definitely going to Austin. So you're pre-networking, you're pre-entrepreneuring, you're pre-gaming the party. You and I will study buddy this video while you prepare for your Miami party, which is a month before the game. You pre-game before the game. You pre-party in Miami before the actual party in Austin. You pre-party the regular party that's just called a party, and then the after party is where you host and you make money. Is this a bibliography where I'm going to mention another video? You're welcome, which is hashtag external API. We're going to DJ now into point number 9, which is how do hashtags help us accelerate ROI? Because before hashtags accelerate us into money, we're going to have to take a quarter step back to point number 8 of how to watch a YouTube video, which is memorizing portions of videos, at least memorizing the title, at least memorizing the author. Me, I'm the content creator. Do you like my word selection? That is named Larry Chang. So at least memorize who is telling you what. How do most people do videos? Oh, I watched some rando YouTube video, but the idea stuck in my mind. That's people's competence in doing memorization. What are we doing? We're memorizing at least the title and the content creator. We're at least memorizing book and author. How we really want to do it is book, chapter, and verse. Kind of like how the devil uses the Bible against Christians by memorizing book, chapter, and verse. That's where we want to be. We don't want to be like the devil, but we want to be able to memorize book, chapter, and verse so that way we can quote specific things. Are we quoting scripture? We could in a different video, which would be a Sunday video, but for this video, let's quote title and author. For this video, let's quote title as it connects to a hashtag, which is point number 9. This video flows nicely. Why? Because I cared enough to give you $500 either by the end of this video or on iteration number 2 when you and I study buddy this video over email. Is this going to provide more content for me? Yeah. Does remixing 2 videos help you get $500, which is my goal for you on this video? Yes. Number 9, hashtags. For $18, you should sell points number 9, 8765431 to a friend of yours and say, if you don't make $3,000, you can keep the 19 bucks. I'll repeat that in a second. Let's go into number 9, hashtags. What a hashtag is for other people is hashtag loser, hashtag sarcasm, hashtag ADD. Look at the troll comments that don't dovetail and stay congruent on message. In fact, if you look at the YouTube comments, they're all meant to diversify this conversation. They're all meant to distract and say, pay attention to me, don't pay attention to the title of the video, how to watch a YouTube video. This is how we want to use hashtags. Problem. Other people use hashtags for sarcasm and distraction. Solution. Our hashtags will be incredibly specific. They will be acceleratory. They will be what you tell yourself in the future when you're a rich venture capitalist dropping signature business plays, such as, well, the reason I became rich is I watched a Larry Chang video called How to Watch a YouTube Video. And that video changed my life. No exaggeration, because point number 9 is signature business recipes hidden on hashtags. Let me recap and stress how important this is. When you use hashtags the way that a person who cares about money, I love money so much, I want to give you some. But I'm not just going to give it to you, because then you're probably just going to do drugs or waste it. When I give you the drug of dopamine by you making the money, this is what we're doing. Signature business recipes on a hashtag, which is where you realize that there's a compression algorithm for articles. There's a compressed dose of information for point number 4 inside of how to watch a YouTube video, which is PQRST, hashtag CS183 PQRST. That's point number 4, which is preview, question, read, summarize, test. Hashtag CS, like computer science. So if you're a software engineer, this stuff should make you $50,000. But let's just start small and just assume that we're minimally viable engineers. That's another video, but I won't tease you with watching more Larry Chang content, which is, comma quote, the minimum viable engineer. Hashtags. Exposing, promoting, Easter egg hunting, signature business recipes that are on hashtags. For example, hashtag HTG HFA OTR. Hashtag, I'll repeat it because you're going to want to write this down. Hashtag HTG HFA OTR. The example after that one is going to be hashtag EUTWM PPM as in motion. Let's go with hashtag number 1 first, because this is easily $600 to $1,200. How to get home field advantage on the road. Hashtag HCG HFA OTR goes into the signature business recipe that my mentor gave me that I cared enough to pass along to you. This is not just an Easter egg. This is 80 Easter eggs plopped down that have a $20 bill in each little plastic egg. If you're not from this country or are not Christian or have parents that hate you and never took you on an Easter egg hunt, you're welcome, because the Oriental Cowboy is now giving you hashtag HTG HFA OTR. Oh, Larry, you sound like you're joking. Look at my face. I am not joking. I am hilarious. Hashtag hi Larry ass. Hilarious. Who gave me that moniker? Chameleonaire. After he gave me my nickname, Larry, you're hilarious. Hi Larry ass. I made him a VC. Why? Because he knew how to watch a YouTube video. Chameleonaire, the rapper. Yeah, I turned him into a VC. Your results won't vary. Everybody ends up being a VC. It's so easy because we're doing point number 9, hashtag EUTWM PPM. This signature best recipe came from a book from 1983. If I told you about business recipes that came from 1983, you'd say, oh, I just want the new stuff. I don't want the New York Times best-selling genius shit from the 80s. I want new shit. This is also why people stay poor, is because all of this stuff is as old as time itself. True story. Ditto my genius PhD thesis sitting over at a Boston college called The Fifth Epiphany, what Mr. Peabody can teach you about technology adoption. sitting over at Harvard. This technique of using hashtags from a book from 1983, there are 33 recipes that Mark McCormick said. Am I going to say, oh, that's Mark McCormick, recipe number 4, recipe number 3, which is hashtag EUTWMPPM? Yeah, I will, because that is recipe number 3, which is hashtag EUTWMPPM from a book from 1983. Let's get into specifically this video portion of point number 9B, which is what is EUTWMPPM? In fact, what is, comma, quote, hashtag EUTWMPPM? It's the simplest thing ever, and you're freaking welcome for at least $1,000. No joke. Easter egg. The plastic egg with money in it. Engineer up a tidal wave of momentum, perpetual promotion machine. You're going to combine recipe number 3, recipe number 4, and recipe number 11 to conjure up money. I'll remember this because I set it into a video that I'm going to probably have to watch, even though I don't necessarily love watching myself, but I make myself do it. Why? Because this money matters to you. This is specifically how we're going to attach and approach this repetition. This video is amazing. Let's go. I'm glad a bunch of people jumped on. This is what's going to be amazeballs. Good job wrangling in your study buddies. Let's go. It's 2 blog posts, 2 videos, an event. That's EUTWMPPM. We're just checkbox checking some super basic shiitake for the winning of hashtag EUTWMPPM. Do you not see how this is not even a cooking video? Because I call these signature business recipes hashtag guacamole. In fact, that's what you should serve at a party that lasts for 11 minutes. All of these recipes, which is 11, 4, and 3, came from a 1983 book. Because remember, if you believe that you can make $200 or $1,500, by the end of your 5th iteration of watching this video, which is how to watch a YouTube video, parentheses, and make $1,300 or whatever dollar amount in your rupees, dineros, European currency that I don't even know because I just care about Bitcoin. What we can do is on March 13, there's a Bitcoin party that we can EUTWMPPM. Did they write a description of their event on the 13th? Yeah. Did press cover them? No. Have people done EUTWMPPM? Not enough. That's what you can do to extract value and charge people to come to the pregame and the postgame. Pregame meaning the minimum viable event in your city, Miami, or even Austin if you live in Austin. And the postgame, which is hashtag afterparty. Let's expand on recipe 3, recipe 4, recipe 11, because recipe number 3 is EUTWMPPM. Specifically, it's hashtag EUTWMPPM. Recipe number 4 is how to sell out a party that you're hosting, not for 2 hours with open bar, but for under an hour, let's say 11 to 34 minutes. I would pick 11 minutes. When you host a party that's incredibly short, your party remains competitive because it's specific. Goal: how to attend a party by having ROI for the party before the party. Number 11, hashtag guacamole, recipe number 11, which is how to go from crasher to VIP and speak at South by. Will you be on the main stage? Maybe someday, but the stage that you're going to be speaking at is the after party to this video. We're still, remember, on point number 9, which is hashtags. This point number 9 is the most beneficial because it goes from learning passively to actively participating. We go from partially learning with a video playing in the background to an active practice of how do I execute a hashtag, which is how do I go from first time South by attendee to speaker. This is how. Guacamole, recipe number 11, how to speak at a conference that you're crashing. This is exactly how. Let's start bullet pointing some of these points because we're gonna need to get incredibly specific. 1, set a goal. 2, you wanna have structured notes. 3, you want to outline chapters or acts for your keynote. 4, you wanna be able to PQRST your engagement. Preview, question, read, summarize, test. 5, you want to memorize your outline and then perhaps cite other videos. 6, you want to connect with other books or videos during your keynote, your unauthorized, unofficial keynote. Number 7, you want to bibliography and give credit to other people during your keynote, during your fireside chat with an author. Number 8, you want to actually memorize page numbers of books that you can then cite. Was this, oh, and then number 9, hashtags. Was this last steps 1 through 9 for how to speak at a conference that you're attending for the first time also the topics for this video, which is how to watch a YouTube video? Yes! Do you see why you just 1 through 9, 1 through 9, 1 through 9? You just rep this stuff up because that's how you can make, I mean, I'm making 400K by the end of day number 34 of the 23 days of OpenAI. What's day 34? Brendan Burchard. What's day 16? That's the closing party for South by. What's day 0? Oh, it's Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club, where Sarah Loretta talks about conjuring up Lizzie Benson. Are these things that you can cite and source? Oh, I think memorizing is number 5. Connecting with other videos, I think that's number 6. You're welcome for how amazing this video is, because this video really knocked it out of the park inside of the time allotment, way under 60 minutes. Go ahead and spend time on execution, because remember, James Clear, his book, page 57, we don't want to learn by trying to plan. We want to learn by at least attempting practice. Atomic habits. The habit that I have is mentioning my mentor, Mark McCormack, recipes 11, 4, and 3. Let's just do 3 for now, which is hashtag EUTWMPPM. Your homework, should you accept trying to make $7 or $70 is this. Write 12 sentences to 20 sentences that summarizes this video. Oh, Larry, I could use AI. I could do this stuff in 60 seconds. Yeah, you could, but will you? Because this work should take you not even an hour to make that money. Oh, but like some excuse. But my dad left me. But I've sucked all my entire life. But Larry, my family gives me money. But I don't watch videos. Oh, can you tell me about your education before I trust myself to do practice? This is what I'll tell you about my education. I went to the University of Illinois and I learned Stanford engineering entrepreneurship content better than every professor who teaches entrepreneurship. Did I do step one, set a goal? Yeah, I set a goal when I opened up the book called New Business Ventures in the Entrepreneur, and I said to myself, I want to learn this book better than Irv Grosbeck. I set a goal. 2, I'd structured notes. How are the notes structured? Lectures 1 through 20. Why 1 through 20? Because those are Irv Grosbeck's lecture notes. 1 through 20. I then outlined chapters. For example, chapter 17, bankruptcy, Irv Grosbeck. And then I reached out to the author and I was like, hey, Professor Irv Grosbeck, I can't believe you're still alive. You're a living legend. So I went ahead and PQRST'd your stuff, and lecture 11, it's not your best. Chapter 17, it needs improvement. But I think the genius is already there. So do you mind if I come to Bishop Auditorium and learn from you in person? No, Larry, I don't mind at all. That's step 4, PQRST. Then did I do memorize an outline? Maybe. Definitely. Did I connect Irv Grosbeck's book to 5 other books? Maybe. 4 Steps to the Epiphany, Steve Blank, Business Model Generation, Alexander Ostrander, Mark McCormack, What They Don't Teach at Harvard Business School, Jeffrey Moore, Cross the Chasm, Eric Ries's Lean Startup. It's a live action bibliography. I'm not even annoying myself because that's number 7 of what I did with Irv Grosbeck. What's the hashtag while I'm memorizing page numbers? The hashtag is hashtag StramGT353. In under 60 minutes, we have used a less than $20 sign. We've used less than a $20 sign to get you $17 to $17,000 to $17 million, you pick, which is hashtag StramGT353. Steps 1 through 9 for a third time. Steps 1 through 9 for a third iteration. Should we do a 4th iteration? Yeah, let's do that person to person in a study club for this video where I am your